Okay, in this video we are going to talk about how Obamacare affects your 401k. And it's not just a 401k, it's any ERISA based program. ERISA is Employment Retirement Income Security Act, and that covers 401ks, that covers IRAs and Keoghs and a number of different retirement saving vehicles. And I've done another video if you want to click on this for interest. I'm not a big fan of IRAs and 401ks and any of these programs for deferring money in the future that you're basically just going to be taxed on. You're basically piling up a bigger chunk of money you're going to have to pay tax on. Now, I understand in 401k, if you get a match, that's free money. I get that. But if you go to this video, Secret to Retirement Planning with Minimal Taxation, and watch that, I think your eyes will actually open up about how IRAs and all that work. Now, if it's a Roth IRA, that's a different story. I'm a huge fan of Roth IRAs because you pay the tax now and it all grows tax-free, and when then you take it out, it's tax-free forever. The challenge with the Roth is if you make over $188,000, you can't get one. That's for a married couple. All right, so the point of this video is recently I've just been connecting some dots, and I want to share a couple of those with you. And it all started with this woman here, Teresa Ghilarducci. And here's a photo. This is what she looks like, and we can just go to Wikipedia. And she testified in Congress in 2009. So she's a PhD, she's an academic, and she wrote some books. But this is what she testified. This is the subject matter she testified for in Congress, and that is the loss of pensions for older Americans. And she proposes a comprehensive system of reform. Comprehensive system of reform. So this is what she talks about. She says that the government should create mandatory retirement accounts. Mandatory retirement accounts. And what her blueprint is that the government deposits $600 per worker. Now this is indexed for inflation, so as inflation goes up, this 600 would go up to 605 or 10 or whatever it is. So the government starts off with $600. Then every worker must save 5% of their compensation, and then the government is going to grow this money at a guaranteed 3%. So this is her plan. Now, it's one of these things, like a lot of people testified before Congress. I get all that, but then all of a sudden in the 2014 Obama budget, they had something in there that made a dot connect for me, and that was that a requirement, a mandatory IRA for small businesses. Now, there's a couple things wrong with that. Number one, mandatory, if you're running a small business and you want to have a retirement plan in order to make yourself more competitive in your environment against other companies, that's one thing. But to force you to open up IRA for your employees, that continues to push that envelope of government encroachment on our lives. And where did this idea come from? Where did this mandatory IRA? Well, this came from Ghilarducci. So that was one of the dots that connected. And then another dot connected for me that is a little bit more disturbing, and I realize it's speculative, but right now we have $17 trillion of debt as a country. Now that's going to be, just in case nobody's keeping track, by 2016 that's going to be 21 trillion. And somebody gave me an analogy the other day that I really liked, as far as, because trillion is such a big number. I mean, a billion is a big number, but a trillion, and that is, if you started a business when Christ walked the earth and you lost $1 million a day, so you lose $1 million, you lose $1 million every day when Christ walked the earth, and so you've been doing this for 2013 years, losing $1 million every single day, you would still need another 750 years of losing $1 million every single day to equal 1 trillion, not 17 trillion, to equal $1 trillion. Okay, so sorry for digressing there, but $17 trillion we're in debt. And going back up to this point about ERISA programs, do you want to take a wild guess, talking about connecting dots, of how much money is in all of these ERISA programs? $18 trillion. Now, that could be a pretty big stretch, and you might be thinking, Rob, you're out of your mind. You think that the government's going to take all of our 401k IRAs, that $18 trillion, and take it to pay off the national debt? You know what? That is a pretty big stretch, but I will use these 5 letters to see if I can't connect the dot for you. So those 5 letters are P, P, A, C, A. Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, also known as ObamaCare. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, people would have thought it was crazy that the government would take over 1/5 of our economy, and it would be one thing if they were doing well with the launch of this, but as we all know, it's been a disaster. So is there a solution to all this? Well, just like I showed you a video on the taxation issues with ERISA, there's another video on the private pension. And so this is something that, if you're looking for diversification from how you save now, and hopefully this doesn't come to fruition, hopefully these dots don't ultimately connect and they take all IRA and 401k money to pay off our national debt, but to have your own private pension certainly makes sense. It's something a lot of our clients do. So if you go to this video, Private Pension Mechanics for Baby Boomers, and watch that and learn that, may be something you want to look to. Okay, so I didn't mean to scare you or make you feel uncomfortable. I just thought this was really interesting, connecting these dots. It kind of put a chill up my spine. And thanks for watching.